हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद के श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन के वृंदावन धाम के मायापुर धाम के गंगमई के यमुनामई के तुलसी देवी के भक्ति देवी के जय निताय गौर परमानंद. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Ganesh Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 3 and Text 21. So please repeat. Katham matiste vagatanyatha satam kula prasute kula dushanam tvidam bibharshi jaram yat apatrapa kulam pituscha bhartuscha nayasyadhas tamaha katam matiste vagatanyatha satam kula prasute kula dushanam tvidam bibharshijaram yadapatrapa kulam pituscha bhartuscha nayanasya Katam matiste vagatanyatha satam kula prasute kula dushanam tvidam bibharshijaram yatapatrapa kulam pituscha bhartuscha nayanasya dhastamaha Katam matiste vagatanyatha satam kula prasute kula dushanam tvidam bibharshijaram yadapatrapa kulam pituscha bhartuscha nayanasya dhastamaha Mataji's? Katham, how? Matichte, your consciousness. Avagata has gone down. Anyatha, otherwise. Satam, of the most respectable. Kulaprasute, O my daughter, born in the family. Kuladushanam, who are the degeneration of the family. Tu, but, idam, this, bibharshi, you are maintaining. Jaram, a paramour. Yat, as it is. Apatrapa, without shame. Kulam, the dynasty. Pituhu, of your father. Cha, and Bhartuhu, of your husband. Cha, and Nayasi, you are bringing down. Adaha tamaha, downward into darkness of hell. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O my daughter, you were born in a respectable family. How have you degraded your consciousness in this way? How is it that you are shamelessly maintaining a paramour? You will thus degrade the dynasties of both your father and your husband to hellish life. Purport. It is quite clear that according to Vedic culture, a woman who accepts a paramour or second husband in the presence of the husband she has married is certainly responsible for the degradation of her father's family and the family of her husband. The rules of Vedic culture in this regard are strictly observed in the respective families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas even today. Only the Shudras are degraded in this matter. For a woman of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya class to accept another husband in the presence of the husband she has married, or to file for divorce or accept a boyfriend or paramour is unacceptable in the Vedic culture. Therefore, King Sharyati, who did not know the real facts of Chaivana Muni's transformation, was surprised to see the behavior of his daughter. Hare Krishna. Yes, so Srila Prabhupada is writing this purport. It's a very powerful purport. And well, there are many points about culture, points about how it is important to follow one's duties. And there is also the point of actually how the king gets bewildered. He assumes, he sees, okay, he comes to visit the daughter, and he sees the daughter and some men which he didn't see before. And he thinks then this is a paramour. So he assumes that the daughter is being unchaste. And at that time, then a daughter being unchaste would be something very considered very degraded. So then he is already taking the mood that he is getting angry. How could you do that? But as we will see later, then actually the daughter, she is not really concerned about, in fact she is smiling. So that's, for the king, it's a bit, why is she smiling? I'm getting really heavily on her case and she is smiling. So therefore, he doesn't continue with being heavy. He asked, what happened? And so she explains, actually, no, this is my husband, right? He just got transformed. And everything is fine. But if we look into our own situations, our own lives, how many times we get into a similar situation, something is being there, we assume we know what's happening, and it is not acceptable for us, and we get upset, we take a stand. And we even get on the case of the person, or we give punishment, or whatever the situation may be. And only later on, we calm down a little bit and figure out we were wrong. So, you see, the king didn't know the fact, but even though he was being overtaken by the anger, he stopped. He was not enough conscious to figure out, oh, maybe it's something which I don't know. And therefore, everything worked out to satisfaction of everyone. He didn't curse his daughter. He didn't do anything to make the situation wrong. So maybe let's look at it why actually it's happening, what it is. Srila Prabhupada, he explains, we have the levels. We have various levels of how we get entangled under the modes of the material nature. So first of all, it's a desire, karma. We want something. The king wants something. The king wants his daughter to be happy, and the daughter to prosper, and to see that she is properly behaving. So that's his desire. Now, he sees the daughter looks fine, but where is her husband? So, when the desire is being compromised, then anger comes, krodha. We start being angry. My desire is not being fulfilled. That's not how I want it. No, it must be like this. So, and fine. Anger starts arising. How much do we let the anger to come up? How much emotional we get. And to that extent, then we are not able to control the anger. And if we don't control the anger, like the king did, that's the example what we have to do. But if we don't control the anger, then what happens? Lobha. That I want it my way. You have to do it. How I say. So then the greed, no, it must be my way. And then, if that's the person, no, I'm going to do it my way. So then, even that didn't happen. So then, the Shastra says, right, no, moha means a fog. Our vision becomes clouded. We become so angry. We don't know what we are going to do next. Because nobody is listening to us. Nobody is respecting us. So, the extreme, the anger goes to extreme. Wait, I'll show you. And then, because we get clouded, the intelligence gets clouded, then we really don't know what's the next step going to be. And through that, trying to think about how to get on, how to take revenge, how to do this, how to do that, then we get crazy. Mada. That's what the Shastra says. One becomes mad. I have to do that. I have to punish him. He cannot do this to me. And once person is mad like that and he continues, he doesn't receive. Now, it's really not possible for him to go back on his own. He doesn't know what he's doing. But through the mercy of other persons, then he may be brought back to the reality. And if that happened to him, great. But if not, then Matsarya. Matsarya Hrit. He's gone. He's lost. So, we have to be careful that, and these things are happening to us to smaller or greater degree very often, because it's all connected to the desire. As long as our desire is fulfilled, then things are fine. Everything goes according to my desire, how I want. Okay, that's good. I'm the controller. Or, no, I want, or it doesn't have to be even that way, but it can be my children, right? So I teach them, now they are behaving well, it's for their benefit. It's fine, okay, so they are listening to me. Now they don't listen. But I want them to listen because it's good for them. So I get angry. Why aren't they listening to me? And if they don't listen, what do? We go through the same process. And then, we start thinking, it's either their fault or it's my fault. But because we get more and more entangled into the emotional state, then we are less and less able to find out the solution from that. You see, the king, he didn't get emotional. There was a fact. And because of that, he was able to perceive that, okay, she is smiling, which is unusual. She should not smile. But because of that, then he got disarmed. And then, so now, okay, I see you are smiling, so why are you smiling, right? Oh, okay, you explained to me, I understand. He is very happy. So, if we can always be conscious of not to be too much attached to our desires to the extent that we get angry if it doesn't go our way, then we can also be very much conscious and in control of the situation. So that's something we can learn here from the king. And then, now how do we do it? So the process is simple. Rupa Goswami, he is explaining us how the process works. In Upanishamrita, he very clearly says, Vacho Vegam, Manasakrodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udaropashtha Vegam. So, control these urges, starting with the tongue. So we have to control the tongue, as Srila Prabhupada explains. Tongue, we have to control what we speak. We have to control what we eat. We have to control that way then how we let the gunas to affect us. Then we control our belly. How much do we eat? We control the genitals, not to misuse that. Then we control the mind, not to get angry. But that will be possible only if we try to put control over all these together. So, if these things are under control, the mind is controlled, the mind is satisfied, then the intelligence it's dictating, you learn this, you are supposed to do it like this, you do it like that. Then we are able to take care of any situation. Right? But if we are not doing that, then any disturbance, then the krodha will come. And it will continue the same way. So, the whole purpose in the first verse of Upanishamrita, then Rupa Goswami is explaining what we have to do for ourselves. Our own senses, our own mind, our tongue, our belly, our genitals, right? Our anger, our speech. And if we can do that, then we get the power. We get the power to influence others. Why? Because we are a good example. And therefore, in the verse, Rupa Goswami says, and that person is able to make disciples all over the world because he's a good example. So, first, we have to take care of our own problems. Second, once that's done, at least to some degree, then the second verse talks about what we have to avoid. To avoid, so then we don't fall back to the original conditioned position. Right? So he gives six things to avoid, to maintain, not to lose the impetus in bhakti. Out of those, then two are most important. We have to avoid prajalpa, and we have to avoid the janasanga. If we are able to do that, we avoid associating with mundane people. And we don't talk prajalpa. And that prajalpa means not just with mundane people, prajalpa means among devotees. We avoid that, then the mind doesn't get polluted. And instead, we are spending time with these, we can spend time Krishna Katha. So we can talk, but instead of prajalpa, Krishna Katha. We can associate, but instead of janasanga, sadhu sangha. So this is the second point. There's the third verse. Then, once we have taken care of what we should not do, so then we don't get polluted back as we were. So then, now we should associate with devotees, And we should be very enthusiastic, utsaha. Then all the other qualities will manifest. I am enthusiastic to do some service. What can I do? Please give me some service. And then because of that, one is able to not just maintain the level of consciousness, but from that point, one can elevate this consciousness. One will be more and more Krishna conscious. And then, so he talks about sadhu sangha in the 3rd verse. But sadhu sangha, then how do we do that? Then this is what the 4th verse is about. In the 4th verse, then now he gives us 6 kind of exchanges. With those exchanges, if we practice among devotees, it will enhance our bhakti. So darati pratigrihnati, guhimakti prichati, bhunkte bhojayate. So giving gifts, accepting gifts, and inquiring from one, and opening one's heart to someone whom we trust, submissively, and being able then to invite somebody for prasad, distribute prasad, and accept prasad. So these are the exchanges which enhance the relationships. And the relationship among devotees, that's what Rupa Goswami is talking about. They enhance bhakti. Now these 6 exchanges can be also practiced among non-devotees. In fact, these exchanges give more satisfaction than any level of any sense gratification, if done properly. So therefore, you see, even people who are not devotees, those who are practicing these exchanges, they are happy. Materially, they are happy. So, but if that's practiced among devotees, we develop the taste for devotional service more and more. And then, once we go to the spiritual world, what do we do? In the spiritual world, we practice the same exchanges with the Lord, with the other devotees. So there is no difference. So therefore, that's what is important, what we have to work on. And we have to understand also what does it mean, sadhu sangha and jana sangha. How do we associate with non-devotees? Because we have to, right? We preach. So when we preach, then we do associate with anyone. But then how do we get not affected? Because Shastra says don't associate. How do we do it? So we have to understand that there are 2 kinds of association. One way, then the association which is that we give, and other way is we take association. There is a difference between. Generally it is that a person who is junior, then he takes association of somebody senior. That means he listens, he inquires, he is submissive. The senior person tells something to the junior person, so the junior person is taking the association, and he hears, he gets the attention, he gets what he needs to know. And then, so he is happy. He had gotten association of somebody senior. But what is he going to do with it? Then somebody junior to him, he asks the same question to him. What is he going to do? Now, he takes the position of the senior and he gives the association to the junior. Now, both of these are very important. Because the first level, when we take association, so according to the Shastra, it's called Shravanam. Means we hear, we get some knowledge. we get to learn something new. But then we have to contemplate, mananam. How does it apply to me? Or you are telling me something and I'm supposed to apply it. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do it like this? No, you are supposed to do it. He explains. We get the full knowledge through contemplation. Then we ask questions. Then we get more answers. We contemplate more. Once we realize it, then to some extent we also give association. We teach it. When we share what we know, we realize more. The depth of the realization goes because we need to force ourselves to learn more about it, to contemplate more about it. Many times it happens that we hear something, yeah, I understand it. And now please explain it to us. What he meant, I don't know, actually. Yeah, I thought I understood, but I didn't. So that happens when there is not sufficient contemplation. So, by teaching something, you learn the most. So then, to take association of someone, it's about getting the knowledge. To give association to someone, it's about that you get realization of the topic. So therefore, both are important, but actually giving association to others, those who need it, is more important. And that's our thing. How do we associate with somebody who is not a devotee? We preach. What do? We tell them what we do. We give them our association. We talk to them on the level of our realizations. We realized the chanting of the Hare Krishna is the most effective. It pleases the Lord. And there are so many ways how we can please the Lord. And when the Lord is pleased, I am very happy. I am free of materialistic desires, at least to some extent. I feel much better than before. So these are realizations. We share these realizations with somebody who is not a devotee, then the person, what is he going to do? He is going to admire you. Yeah, I am trying to really get more money, get more possession, to control more, and it's not working for me. But I see that you don't have anything, or you have little, and you are happy. So yeah, it must be that you are doing the devotional service. How can I do it? What can I do? So that way you inspire a person when you preach based on your realizations. Not from the book. You can read from the book, but show him how that applies to you, and show him how can apply to him. Bhagavatam is full of those. There are stories of devotees who became devotees, or how, and their problems and how they solved them. And when we read that, then we understand how that applies to us. Especially when we read the purport of Srila Prabhupada, because he is writing it for us. His purports are meant for us to change our lives, to develop the proper Krishna consciousness which he is aiming for, that everybody becomes Krishna conscious. So when we are able to do that, then we can preach to others and share with them how we did it. And that way, then the preaching becomes very powerful. And we can associate with anyone. But if somebody who is not a devotee, and you start taking his association, how he does things, what he does, how he manages, what his desires are, how he's fulfilling them. Oh yeah, you are so rich. I also would like to be so rich. How do you do that? Well, I work in that factory, I make this business, I do it. Oh yeah, maybe I should also do that. And thinking, I will use it in Krishna consciousness. But no, what will happen? That the consciousness will drop. Of course, there is a possibility that you will, but there is more chance that one becomes more fallen. So to avoid that, we should not take the association of those then who are not devotees. We should give them our association. That way, then we can be very nice and pleasant. We can have very deep relationship. And that way we can also help them without us being affected. In fact, when we preach, we realize more and more about our own life, about ourselves, how we can progress more. So this is what we should learn from this story. Then how to control our emotions, how to control the situation such a way so that we don't do anything foolish, so that we don't have to regret for what we had done. Hare Krishna. Any questions on this? Yes. There is a mic somewhere.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your class. My English is not very good, but I try to speak somehow, explain to you. You will understand me. Yeah? So, what's about if we are getting association about Krishna? For example, I know some devotees here in Mayapur, they are watching every day on movies. These movies is like about Krishna or about demigods, topic from Mahabharata and something like this. But these devotees even absolutely no reading Prabhupada's books. So what's about this? We are getting some association by movies, but I think my understanding is that it's important who is preaching, not what we are hearing. Much important who is preach about Krishna. These movies are like Bollywood or something, and
see, the association still goes on, right? So first of all, then Srila Prabhupada said we should read at least 1 hour a day, his books, not watch movies, right? Okay. Second, then if you watch a movie, then you are associating. The mood of the actors is there. The mood of the director is there. You are associating with those people. And now you like the movie as it is, so therefore you are actually taking their association. You get affected. So therefore it's best not to. And sometimes when we watch some movies, Krishna conscious movies, but then sometimes it slips and it's some less Krishna conscious movie. That's the power of the media. It just draws you in. So best just try to avoid it. That's the best. Read Prabhupada's books. And if you do watch some Krishna conscious movies, you have to read Prabhupada's books to understand it properly. Because the movie again it's going to be explained by the person who made it. And is it right or not? There are so many that the Indian Mahabharata, as I know, that it's not really correct. And there are some versions, so some versions more correct, some less correct. Same for Ramayana. They just make up some things. And if you don't know how it is, then you believe it, and then you may actually see the main hero in very bad light, that he did something wrong. But it's not true. They're just to make it more dramatic, then the person changes something in the movie. He has the right to do it. I mean, that's his thing. No. And you not knowing the truth, you just accept it as it is. So, on the other hand, there is like the old movies. There is one movie of Tukaram, and it's a Marathi movie. And in that movie, then the actor, from what I've heard, who was playing Tukaram, then he was really, his mood was very saintly. And I heard that after the movie, he took up sannyas. No, he was so much with the role, or so much absorbed into the role of Tukaram, that after that, just everything else was not satisfying. He took sannyas. So at that time, the actors were more pure, whatever. Nowadays, when you say Bollywood movie, it's just for making money. So they will do anything what will make the people to watch it. So there are some movies made by devotees. When the devotees have the right consciousness to present it, watch those. Those are the proper way how to understand the topic then it's being shown. But when you have movie made by the non-devotee, then the consciousness of that person will be in the movie and you are taking it. Whether you want or not. It's conscious, subconscious, but you will be affected by it. Yes? Okay. This is a mic.
Moshe, we have this very nice philosophy by Prabhupada given to us. He has given us many gurus also. And there are bhakti vrukshas, counseling systems, and many other things. But still, why do we find devotees not very inspired? Why is the progress in ISKCON so slow? Why do we all often feel that there is infrastructural gymnastics, but so much infrastructure is there, so many departments, so many heads?
Srila Prabhupada established the society, right? ISKCON society. And in the 7 purposes, he present, everything is done, to propagate the knowledge, to read, to study, to associate together, for the purpose so one can become Krishna conscious. It's very clear. But then he also says that in the society, every society, even our society, made out of individuals. And in the spiritual life, everybody is for his own. Like Srila Prabhupada explains that like birds flying, right? So they fly together. It's fine. But each and every bird has to rely on his strength to cross the ocean. If one bird cannot fly, he falls. The other birds cannot keep him in the sky. So, yes, it's a society. We encourage each other. We have leadership. We see that everybody, as much as possible, follows the rules and regulations, that he is engaged in devotional service. But if somebody doesn't want to, there's no way how we can help anybody.
But I fail to understand how even one feels, because this is a moment where purity is so evident, because Prabhupada made it so lovingly strict. On one hand he has a lotus, and on another hand he had this club. And then he is like an emperor of the world now. And now we are supposed to have kingdoms all over of Krishna consciousness. And I think that is because of lack of proper checks and balances that Prabhupada himself wanted, by expert devotees.
There are enough check and balance in Prabhupada's books. Everybody is encouraged to read Prabhupada's books. And then, if everybody reads, then the consciousness will be elevated, everybody will understand. Those who don't read, then they will have problem, because they will not know what to do and how to act. So then the real thing is to encourage the 7 purposes of ISKCON. Encourage those. If that's happening properly, there will be no difficulties. And those who will have difficulties, then others can help them very easily. So we should encourage everyone to study and to read Prabhupada's books, to hear his lectures. So then everything becomes very clear and all the problems will be solved.
But still, what Prabhupada wanted, it is not surfacing, it's not manifesting. Like he wanted a constitution, he wanted a religion ministry, he wanted a
everything will manifest in time.
History books, so that
as a society,
of every ISKCON center, so that there is transparency.
As the society matures, if the society becomes more pronounced, everything, the consciousness becomes properly established, everything will manifest properly in time. This society is going to be here for 10,000 years.
Yes. No doubt. I am very hopeful about the movement.
Don't have doubt.
Nothing wrong about it. I'm still surviving, that's why.
And if you want to follow, if you want to be part of the society, you can.
Solely on the
If you don't want to be
books.
part of the society, you don't have to.
Yeah.
See, it's like that.
But what I'm worried about, it's still there is no farm communities that helps us to bring up the Vardhana ashrama systems. And
it's all secondary.
And then everybody has a lot of job opportunities.
All secondary. Primary thing is that each and everyone who wants to be part, who wants to please Srila Prabhupada, has the opportunity to become Krishna conscious. So then every one of us have to see that. And then you can also see, and by practicing Krishna consciousness yourself.
I was just hoping that we have more and more inspired devotees. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
You sing about the senior devotee, when you take association, you get knowledge. But when you preach to junior, you preach through realization. I need to be clear. Can you elaborate that point, how it is work? Like sometimes we read books or we hear from a senior devotee, we just speak to others. But how to realization people speak?
If you have somebody senior and you want to know something from the senior person, so you come very submissively, you come, please, I don't understand some topic, please can you explain it to me? Then the person not taking the position of, okay, he knows something which you don't know, so then he explains it to you. So he takes the position of the senior person and he gives you his association and you take his association. The knowledge flows, right? When he finishes explaining to you what you wanted to know, now you know. Now your responsibility is to contemplate about how you are going to apply it in your life. Today, tomorrow, for the rest of your life. And through the contemplation, you start realizing, in certain areas I can apply it. Certain areas I cannot apply it. So, with that contemplation, you come to the position of realizing. When you realize, then you start also sharing that with others. You tell them what you heard. Right? So then you are giving your association to those who are hearing from you. And what do they want to hear? They want to hear your realizations. That why is it important to you? Not that, oh, he told me this, so you should do it and I am free. No, don't bother me. When Srila Prabhupada would give some instruction, or even when he would be getting heavily on somebody's case, then others immediately would come close and listen. What is Srila Prabhupada saying? They know it doesn't apply only to that person. It applies to me. He may get chastise one person. But others know, okay, I also have the problem. So the chastisement is also going for me. And that way, because of the enthusiasm to hear, they get so much of realization. When they get the realization, when they go out, and they may not, in the beginning, they didn't know much of philosophy. But the devotees, the early devotees, they knew, okay, Srila Prabhupada is my spiritual master. My spiritual master, he tells me, just chant Hare Krishna and you will be happy. All the problems will be solved. So that's all they knew. They go out and they preach this. But because they realized that, yes, that's true. And they give this realization to others, even though very simple way. Others will be very impressed. And because of this, they will apply it in their life. They will become devotees. They will become very serious. So, preaching on the platform of realization. Knowledge should be there, but the knowledge should be realized. If somebody is distributing books, so then, rather than try to sneak the book to the person anyway, it's good to know what's inside the book. Because the person will likely ask, what is the book about? And then we don't have to say, oh, this is just some yoga, good for you. We can say, this is actually Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, then Krishna speaks to Arjuna, and they are going through all the problems in one's life. Oh, how is that? And you can start preaching. You can spend some time with the person. But the person, by your realizing what he speaks, how you apply it, and how we can apply it, he will be impressed. He will take the book and he will read the book very seriously because he is looking for what you gave him. And I'm not talking theory. I know devotees who preach like this, who spend the time, and the people are always impressed. So that's the giving and taking association.
Just hear speaker who is speaking about from realization.
When there is something you can learn, something new, something which you don't know, you should hear. You have some doubts, you should ask questions. Why is it like that? Why not like that?
Like some Bhagavad speaker nowadays came out, like big Katha, 7 days Bhagavad Katha. They speak according to Krishna Lila, different way they present it. But we don't really get touched by, personally myself, not any realization, so it doesn't touch my heart. They just speak it nicely, presentation. So how much really affect our life to hear from them?
Depending on the consciousness of the person, of the speaker. So Srila Prabhupada says, you can have Mayapur speaker who will speak beautiful sounding Krishna Katha, but you go there and you very likely become non-devotee. You get affected by that because the consciousness is wrong. But you may have same Krishna Katha by some devotee and he may not be very expert. But he is giving it from devotional point of view. So from that person you benefit. It will touch your heart. But the other one, no. It's just kind of like okay, I'm talking to you here because I'm getting money for it. And he may be great singer, like Tansen, right? Him being expert singer in the court of Akbar. Tansen could sing the raga, Deepak Rag. And when he sings, so all the lamps, lights, it creates so much heat. So he was expert. Then one day Akbar told him, you are the best singer. And Tansen said, no, No, how is it possible? No, you know everything the best. You can sing the best. I said, no, I'm not the best singer. So who is then best singer? My guru, Haridas. He taught me. But what? No, you know better than him. No, I never know. And so why? Reason? I sing for you. So my consciousness is material. I want some fame. But my guru never sings for anybody else than Krishna. So his consciousness is pure. He is on the absolute platform. He is the best singer. So, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yeah, I have two questions. First is, I've been part of the ISKCON society for the last 3-4 years. I've been listening to the Bhagavad session every Sunday morning. I listen to kathas and all. I've not started reading as of now. So can you guide me from which books of Srila Prabhupada should I start with? That is my first question.
Start with Upadeshamrita.
Upadeshamrita.
Yeah. Upadeshamrita,
Yeah.
Nectar of Instruction.
Correct. That we started now because I also have joined the counseling session, so we just started.
Nectar of Devotion.
Nectar of Devotion. Yeah.
Ishopanishad.
Ishop.
Then Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Then you get into Bhagavatam.
Okay. So that is sorted.
That's the best.
And the second question is, me and my wife, I mean, we are, liking the movement. We are really, participating in all the Bhagavad sessions and all that. I've got a 12 to 13-year-old daughter who is actually not even keen on, taking darshan or, she comes with us. She's even come here. But then she would just sit out and, she would not come inside the temple and she would not have prasadam. So how can I deal with that, or can I let it as it is? Or
See, you have to accept, you had, by appraising your daughter, you had created some samskaras, whatever. Then her association with her friends created samskaras.
Yeah.
She is individual, same like you and your wife.
Right.
So you encourage as a father, see what you can do, encourage, but don't force.
Yeah.
It won't.
So I can
you
let
want to
it be-
chant. You want to chant japa. You chant japa.
Yeah, I do.
Encourage. Please come chant with us. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So you keep encouraging, and by your example, she will get some samskaras.
Yeah.
Maybe she will be inspired. Maybe later.
Later. Yeah. Okay. So I can leave it as it is and not force her.
Don't force.
Yeah.
Encourage.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande.